Welcome to Kenya Diaspora Media. My name is Esther from Leicester, and today I have a very special guest. And we're just getting started on the Kenya Diaspora Media. I hope wherever you are, you're doing well and you're tuning in within Kenya Diaspora Media. In a moment, we will be going live even on the radio, and we'll be live on YouTube Media. So tell a friend here and there, and then we will be able to be joining in together. So I have a very special guest today, and this is live on Kenya Diaspora Media. And I'll be sharing a link with you in a moment as I get my guest to introduce herself. Then na tokwaria Gikuyu, twarie Githũngũ, twarie Githwaĩri, lugha yoyote ambayo inafahamika, tokwaria ciothe. Koguo I will invite my friend today so that she can be able to introduce herself while I'm sharing the link with you. So here is our guest. How are you, Madam?
Hi.
Oh, you're looking so beautiful and gorgeous. Look at that African lady. African queen.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're looking very
Esther
good.
from Leicester.
This is Esther from Leicester. And who are you today?
I'm Mary from Minnesota.
Wow, Minnesota. So today I'll be learning about Minnesota. Minnesota. Is that the way you say? So I need to learn the American accent. At the same time, you can learn the British accent, and then we can be able to bring our Kenyan accent. So Mary, just tell us a few things of what you do and just a bit about yourself, maybe where you come from originally from, if you don't mind sharing some of the things you can share on Facebook, you see, some of your personal things, only those that you can tell your mom or your best friend like me, Esther here. So tell us about yourself, a few things about yourself.
Hello.
Yeah.
I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you clear. You're very clear, loud and clear.
I think we have a little glitch and it's okay. It's normal.
Yeah.
If you can hear me, Esther?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can still hear
you. I need you to come back.
Yeah, you're frozen.
I need you to come back.
Yeah, you're back now. You're back now. So don't worry. Yes. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Yeah.
Thank you so much. First of all, thank you for hosting me. And thank you for Jeremy Diamaris to have this kind of a wonderful channel so that we can be able to be connecting with each other. And glory to God. And thank you for our fans.
Karibu sana.
My name is Asante. My name is Mary Wajiro Mwaura, currently living in Minnesota, United States of America. I was born in Kenya, that beautiful, beautiful land. As a little girl, I grew up among boys. My mom and dad, thank God they're still alive, had 7 brothers and me and my sister. But my sister came later, so I was like a boy and I was the firstborn. So I knew I grew up with a lot of curiosity, and I was able to have the pleasure or the blessings of my parents to join the library those days in the 70s to be, to go and indulge my curiosity there. So by the time I was finishing school, I knew I had a lot of interesting areas that I wanted to discover. And one vision that came true is when I was going through in the library, I was reading about Western countries, Australia, Canada, America, and I love the geography and the history. One thing that caught me is the plantation when they were growing cotton here in America. I was always fascinated by that story and growing. There was cotton, and then there was this thing that makes cigarettes. What do we call it?
Tobacco. I think it's the tobacco. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I was fascinated by those stories because I could see very large plantation, and then I could see just Black people there. And then there was my dad used to love the racing cars. They were making the vroom noises in the radio.
Okay.
And they were also in America. So I manifested that one day I'll go to America, I'll visit there to see the cotton and the tobacco and the broom cars.
Yeah.
And my dream came true. What I manifested came true. Even the broom cars, they
Mm-hmm.
were Pontiac. They were Pontiacs.
Okay.
I have I have bought two Pontiac cars.
What?
So
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you are chasing your dream and bringing it into reality,
I
plus the sound of the car, plus everything that you ever wanted, and you made sure you have it.
Yeah, and I didn't know much about manifestation. I
Mm-hmm.
was just a little child dreaming, and the airplanes when they were passing by, I could look at them and just imagine them, imagined they were going to America
Mm-hmm.
or Canada or
Yeah.
Australia. But my dream was that one day I will
Mm-hmm.
acquire those things, and
And
it
acquire.
became true.
Where are
That's
you
the
at
part.
the moment? Where are you listening from?
I am in America.
You are in America. You are in America. Yes, dreams do come true. Dreams do
And
come
when I
true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but when I arrived here, I went back to my dream and I'm like, and that was after 3 years. I'm like, oh my gosh, this
Mm-hmm.
is the dream I had,
Yeah.
or the wishes that I had as a small child.
Mm-hmm.
And then I asked my question, why not Canada? Why am I not in Australia?
Yeah.
Why America?
Mm-hmm.
But then the story of the cotton and the tobacco was here. And this is where the manifestation took place.
Fabulous, fabulous. Yeah, I'm still sharing
Yes,
the
yes.
links and I'm listening to your story about your dream
Thank
and the
you.
visions of coming to America and the vroom,
Yes,
vroom, vroom of the vehicles. I don't know
yes.
whether that's the sound that they have,
Yeah,
but
in the radio. If you
uh-huh.
can remember, the radios were cracking with that, noise.
Okay.
Paparirari.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Because I grew up in Rift Valley, I could see the
Hmm.
boys. They used to go to watch those safari rallies. But
Hmm.
personally, I was scared of them because I used to think, what if they just derail themselves and come towards me? Then I'll be dead. I'll be sent to heaven before my time. So I know
Oh,
I'm aware of the safari rally, a little bit of
yeah,
the history of America, about growing even corn, cotton,
yeah.
tobacco, and all that. Because, BAT, yeah, British
Hmm.
American
Hmm.
Tobacco. I don't know whether you knew about
Yes,
BAT, the British American
yeah, yeah.
Tobacco. It was
Hmm.
one of our largest companies in Kenya. And as a Christian, by the way, let me just bring this little thing to ice break it.
Yes.
What do you think about Kenyans, Christians, that have a business in growing tobacco, and the other thing that they grow in Meru, what do they call it? Mira. What would be your comment about that? Is it okay or is it not
I
okay?
think, for me, I think I would say it's okay
Yeah.
because everything, there is a right and a wrong
Yeah.
side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Because, like, I saw a lady who is having a YouTube and people were kind of trying to tell her that she's not doing the right thing
Mm-hmm.
because she's wearing a turban or kiremba
Mm-hmm.
and she's selling alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
She has this job
Mm-hmm.
in a bar or restaurant bars.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I I just need a job. I need money. I have kids. I need to survive.
Okay. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
even me, I have a friend who runs a pub and a
Hmm.
hotel. And I don't
Hmm.
know whether to go and help her or not, but that's another
Hmm.
topic of another day. And you have brought an idea, a very good idea. Maybe in future we could be reviewing some of those topics and be able to find out exactly where do we
Hmm.
stand as Christians. Can
Yeah.
we condemn someone because they're doing this job? Do we have permission to condemn them anyway? No, I don't think we do. So we may not be able to condemn or comment on such a situation because, again,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I listened to that program, by the way. She was saying she needs to feed her babies, and if
Yes.
we are questioning her, yani netokumurehera irio, yeah, that's what she was asking. Will you
Yeah.
be feeding
Are
my
we gonna
babies?
help her?
Yeah, that's what she was
What
asking. Yeah. So when we
we
comment
need to
and
be?
when, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, Mary, go ahead.
we need to have a solution when we are going for attack. When you're going for attack, you need to be ready. So if we stop them from doing what we see they're doing wrong, then we need to offer them a solution.
Exactly. So don't point a finger like this. And
No.
three fingers are pointing towards yourself and say, "What have you done?" 3 times. And then the other one you're pointing at you, God, what have you done? That's what I had one time. So the very moment you say,
Yeah.
"Oh, you Mary, you're not doing the right thing." Or you Nduta. Okay, my other Kikuyu name is Nduta. Or you Nduta, you're not doing
Yeah.
the right thing. And then you're saying, God, why did you place this person the way you placed them? So we are blaming 4 times, and 1 time the finger is on the other side. It's like looking at the log in another
Right.
person's eye.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
looking at the speck. It's looking at the
Yeah.
speck.
Mhm.
How do they say it?
Remove the.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
looking at the speck in another person's eye, and you have a big log
Yeah.
in your own
Hmm.
eye. Yeah.
Yeah. First, remove yours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that is. I think that is something to do with our attitude or our mindset,
Mm-hmm.
because our mindset
Mm-hmm.
depends on our attitudes.
Mm-hmm. Would you explain to us a little bit of that? What is a mindset and what is an attitude?
Mindset
Mm-hmm.
has the package of the attitudes we hold towards something or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
We form a judgment towards what we think. It's our own thinking.
Mm-hmm.
The way you would think about something is not the way I would think about it. But when we agree to come and discuss it, we are merging attitudes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you say a mindset, where do you
Mhm.
think these mindsets come from? Where do those mindsets? Because to me, it's a mind and it's set in a certain way. So
Mhm.
where does that come from?
It comes from our beliefs, learned beliefs, either from our parents or from the environment or from the community or from the culture. They are learned. And also you can create yours. Like that person we were just saying, she sells beer in an alcoholic place, yet she's wearing a spiritual turban. She set her mind
Yeah.
that this is what I'm going to do in order to survive financially.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
she has decided, she has made up her mind that that's the way she wants to do. Do you think her
Mhm.
choices are
Mhm.
part of her mindset? And do you think that choice that she makes, how do you think it will affect the rest of us and maybe the children that she has and her community of fellowship, for example? How do you think that would affect them?
It will leave us questioning whether it's right or wrong. So
Okay.
it's also for us to create our own attitudes on how to level her, but it doesn't matter to her. And if it matters to us, then we need to make changes and
Okay.
accept it and accept it.
So we either accept it. Remember at the beginning, we were saying when we accuse or we point a finger, then
Mhm.
we should be ready with a solution as well, giving her an
Yes,
alternative because she was
yes,
asking, "Nemo ko hera shiana irio?" I think that's one of the
yes,
questions she was.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Personally,
Yes,
I think, and this is my opinion, I think that girl also had an attitude, a different type of attitude when she was talking. So there is this attitude of the way our mind is set, the way we think, we can become
mhm, mhm,
stereotypical, we can become
mhm,
prejudiced, we can make assumptions, but there is also
mhm.
the speaking, like now Esther
Yeah.
from Leicester can say, murajera itikanena werosio nemoko hera shiana irio. So is that a better way of approaching somebody for help, or what would your comment be?
Esther from Leicester.
Yeah.
Anytime someone confronts you, and does not give you a solution, it's just an open judgmental attack, the first thing that happens, unless you are a saint, you enter into anger and then frustration. And I think that's how she reacted in the first place. And then by time she made us understand. So now we are not just looking at her attitude, the anger attitude or the approach she was, she came back to feed us with. But now we are understanding that, oh, this is real, she's doing the right thing according to her.
Okay.
Yes.
So one of the things I've been doing recently, I was talking about practical Christianity, practical devotionals. You can take this in the process of Christianity, or you can take it in general talk, whichever way you take it. Personally, I think, and you can prove me wrong, or you can advise me, you can redirect me. I think the mind is our kitchen, all right? And the heart is the other part of the kitchen, okay? Now, I'm going to ask you just a general question, very physical question. In the Spices of Life, I talk about the spiritual and the physical aspects of life. When you were growing up as an only girl, right? You said, I don't know whether you meant you were a tomboy, all right? I don't know whether, did you dress like a boy? Did you want to behave like a boy? Or you were just a girl amongst boys?
Among boys.
Okay. Tell me about the kitchen in your home. Who used to clean the kitchen, and how did you clean it, and when did you clean it?
In the mornings. And I used to clean it. Because my mom was very busy. She was a farm manager.
Okay.
So she would wake up very early in the morning and leave and be with the workers, and I'm the one to cook breakfast.
Okay.
So
okay.
And clean and
Yeah, it looks like you grew up in a more affluent place than me. Okay, in our kitchen, that's where chickens used to sleep. In our kitchen. So
me too.
All right. Okay then. Now, did you love
and good.
How did you? Yes. Then that's where I'm going. Tell me, how did you approach that job? Did you approach it with a smile? Did you like doing it, or you didn't like it? Before I tell you my own approach to that job.
No, I shake my head. No, because the chicken were jumping all over when I opened the kitchen door, and and the dust, when they fry, it was chaotic in the morning. Yes, and then I would go and peg the goats, because the goats had a room next inside the kitchen, but then I had to go again inside their room and peg them, and then they go out. But then there were droppings, and then you're stepping on the droppings.
I like this, Mary. I'm really loving this, because I used to think my way of the kitchen growing up with the sheep and with the chickens in the kitchen, I was thinking it's just something unique to this Esther here. But I'm glad, Mary, you went through the same experience. So, as you approached it, how did you do it? Just give me an overview a little bit of how the attitude was like. Yeah.
I think I got used to do that, and I had nobody to complain to, because the next thing I was thinking of the smoke of the fire and making breakfast, because everything was calculated and systemized by my mom. By 8, I need breakfast. So I was doing things in a hurry. I had no time to complain or cry. I had to do it.
What age did you start cleaning this kitchen?
I think by age 5 I was no. Let me see.
Okay.
Before age 10, I was doing all those things.
Okay. I think equally I was taught to do the same things. Even as we changed kitchens and all that, I think it was Esther's job. And I used to be told, make sure you have cleaned up the kitchen, you have cleaned the kitchen, the chicken poo. When I went to visit my other mom, By the way, my
Yeah.
mom, my foster mom is Mary, my auntie, and then I had my own mom called Mumbi. So when I went to visit my mom Mumbi had sheep in the kitchen. So they would tell me and tell me many times to clean the kitchen, and I hated that job. And sometimes I would skip the job, and I would end up with a green slob of, yeah, either chicken poo
Oh.
here on the hand,
Oh.
because they would poo even
Yeah.
on the rocks, the meko, the three stones. So they would be pooing
Mhm.
there, and then they would be climbing on some of the wooden shelves we
Yeah.
had. They would go and poo
Yeah.
there. So if you
Oh.
don't clean,
I
obviously
even
the mess.
I feel
You-
the smell now. Ooh.
so why I'm bringing this picture, Mary, it's
Mhm.
because
Yes.
I believe, and I don't know whether you're seeing the same picture. I'm seeing like this is the picture, the kitchen of our lives, and this is the kitchen of our lives. So
Mhm.
sometimes these attitudes and the, what were you calling, the mindsets, they're here,
Mhm.
right? It's
Mhm.
like the way you have designed your kitchen.
Mhm.
Yeah, and sometimes you do need to wake up and start cleaning that mind, so that at least
Yeah.
when you're approaching other people and you're approaching life, you can be able to help and to help yourself.
Yes.
So
Yes.
one of the things I wanted to ask you today, because the topic, we haven't even said the topic of today as such. Okay, we've touched here and there. It's about
Mhm.
self-discovery. Okay, self
Mhm.
rediscovery, because one of the aspects of the spices of life is about self-awareness. Okay, so
Mhm.
if someone was
Mhm.
to ask you, Modo Agishagi, a layman, and say to you, what is this self rediscovery? What is this self concept? Or what is this self awareness? Let me go slowly. So what is self concept? Yeah, what is self concept in your own words?
Mm, it's how you see yourself,
Okay.
how you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
From that mindset attitude,
Mm-hmm.
it's how you figure out what you want to be, what you'd like to be. The
Mm-hmm.
Esther in you. Who
Mm-hmm.
is that Esther? That Esther.
Mm-hmm.
You craving to be that.
Okay, in the past, because I know you're one of my
Yes.
listeners, I was saying there is an ideal self and a
Mm-hmm.
real self. So, what do you
Mm-hmm.
think are some of the things that cause a gap between the ideal self and the real self in terms of the concept? And I'm bringing these things because I know you're aware of a lot of mental health issues, which you'll be teaching us with time as time goes by. So, the gap,
Mm-hmm.
what causes the gap between the ideal self, yeah, the person you want to be, and the real self, the person that you are?
Okay. The ideal self
Mm-hmm.
is the what I've just said
Mm-hmm.
you want to be.
Okay.
The real self
Mm-hmm.
is when you go all the way into simplicity,
Mm-hmm.
and humbleness.
Mm-hmm.
You're not craving for anything. Like, I want to be that ideal person,
Mm-hmm.
like Esther,
Mm-hmm.
buy a car like Esther,
Mm-hmm.
live in this place like Esther. I
Yeah.
just want to let go,
Mm-hmm.
be simple, live in the moment intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
You're not forcing it.
Okay.
But ideal,
Mm-hmm.
you're forcing it. I want to go to school and get that degree because I will be more appreciated,
Mm-hmm.
or it's the thing to do to
Mm-hmm.
feel,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that ideal. Yeah, that's the difference.
Okay. Now, when I look at Mary at 10, yeah, when you were
Hmm.
at 10, I'm seeing that the real self.
Hmm.
You can know one again. I'm seeing that real self, you yourself,
Hmm.
yeah. But then you told me at the beginning of the discussion, you used to hear vroom vroom vroom, and
Yes,
then you used to see the planes fly by the skies, and you
yes.
desired. And I
Hmm.
don't know whether that particular time there was that ideal that you were looking towards getting to. So I just want to see, in the middle, what have you done to be able to achieve from the 10-year-old girl that you were to the
Hmm.
car owner American lady that you are today? What are some
Yeah.
of the things that you have used to fill in the gap? And this story will help this lady, even the one with the kilemba, right? The one
Yes.
with the kilemba
Yes.
being a waitress in a
Mm-hmm.
pub. It may help her to come out of that situation, because in as much as she may think we are pointing fingers at her and saying this and that, in the
Mm-hmm.
reality of how we
Mm-hmm.
have been conditioned as a Kenyan, as a Mokorino, okay, I'm not a Mokorino, but I've lived among Wakorinos, then I would be able to
Yeah.
know that this is a good thing that can help another person, and this may
Yeah.
not help another person. And we do things, or we don't do things, not necessarily because we want to please ourselves. We live in a community of people. So, what
Yeah.
have you done since you were 10 years old to come out of the kitchen cleaning of the physical of the chicken poo and the goat
Yes.
poo to where you are now? You can hoover, or you can, I don't know what the Americans say, when we
Mm-hmm.
say hoovering or vacuuming the
You,
house. Yeah.
yeah, you can even hire cleaners,
Yeah.
house cleaners.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just give us in a nutshell, what are some of the steps you've taken to rediscovering yourself and re-identifying yourself to the Mary that we know now?
Number one is the simplicity
Mm-hmm.
that I talked about, and the humbleness and the letting go, let things work the way they come,
Mm-hmm.
is, I think it's the thing that I did.
Mm-hmm.
I was not like intentionally fighting to be on the next level.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was working towards the moment, the
Yeah.
now, not tomorrow. Because if you try to reach tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
there is no even tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Because you find the past is the one that keeps on haunting you. So
Mm-hmm.
the best thing is to work for today. What
Mm-hmm.
you're doing today, make sure it pivots you to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're working,
Yeah.
try to do the savings
Yeah.
so that you can elevate. If you're working in a pub,
Yeah.
keep on imagining, if I was not working in a pub,
Mm-hmm.
where else would I want to be? And
Mm-hmm.
what do I need to do?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
why do I want to do that?
Okay. Thank you
Those
so
are
much.
the drives.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put drives. You have to put in gear number one, gear two, gear three. Don't drive on just gear number one in your life.
Okay, okay. So you're
Yes,
changing gears. Now, before we move on
yes.
very far, I want to just recognize some of the people who are tuned in. We want to say thank you so much, Josie, our Director of Operations. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me just put the two of us here so that you can see the two of us as I speak. Thank you so much, Josie. Thank you so much, Bansi. Guard your hearts. You're tuned in and you're laughing a little bit. I think the story is becoming moto moto. Thank you so much, Shiroa Mami. And you're saying hello from wherever you are. And by the way, Mary, you can also be able to look at the chats. I'll be giving you an opportunity to welcome some of our visitors in a moment. There is Gladys Minor. She's here and she's saying, all the droppings, ati droppings. Mashane my maboli, na the goats and all that. And then we have
Mhm.
Jane. Jane say, please uongee kizungu ya kwetu tore agikuyu ona toikara diaspora. Tukwalie giothe, tukwalie, tutafanya mchanganyiko maalum kwa sababu sisi ni watu wa mchanganyiko maalum, as long as you can be able to pick up. And then Gladys Minor said, stepping on those droppings with bare feet. Yes, we used to be stepping on those with bare feet, and therefore you're multiplying the jobs that you need to do at the end of the day before you go to school. Na waikarira mai macio ma maguku kwanza maria ma green nie ndonaga riu ni uguthi kwanjia guthambia uniform. Yeah, so you'll have to go and start cleaning your uniform again. So we do appreciate those who have been listening, and thank you so much, and welcome. So the other question I had, I was trying to look at some of the things that cause the gaps between ourself, the ideal self and the real self. Okay, niturenda gukinya handu fulani, we want to go a journey,
Mhm.
we want to
Yeah.
travel a journey,
Mm.
but you have really
Yeah.
explained very well. We humble ourselves, simplify, don't push yourself too hard, but
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
one day at a time and be able to move on slowly
Intentionally.
yes,
Mhm.
and have that
Mhm.
intention. So the other thing,
Mhm.
Mary, you wanted to tell me is about personal development. When we were discussing on what we could be able to discuss, what are some of the steps can we take, or what are those steps do we need to be able to take in order to develop the person that we are?
Number one, again, and I like saying number one, I never have two or three, but I always actualize something by saying number one.
Yeah.
You have to try and work over your stress. Stress-free. Be stress-free. Try to release the stresses in your life so that you can have a space in your kitchen mind. Did you say mind?
Yeah.
And your kitchen heart. If you don't create space in those two spaces, then there is no way. You're going to struggle. You're going to struggle.
Okay. What are some of the struggles? What could be one of the problems that could happen to just hinder our progress?
Lack of sleep is number one. Sleeping for 2 hours or 3 hours is not really enough because we know our body cells needs to rejuvenate. They need to grow, and that happens when someone sleeps. And then the other one is exercising. If someone is not doing exercising, then the muscles in our bodies are not doing what they were meant to be.
Okay, I think we should start an exercising class. Mary here. Do you think if we started a dance club for KDM, would you be part of it? Would you be willing to join in? And then, we dance as per Jeremy Damaris' song. We're done, guy, we're done. Okay.
And also, I've talked about stress-free and sleep because you get insomnia, which will hinder your growth hormones. And also, we have, how do I put it? Okay, exercise I've also talked about. Okay, the other thing, happiness and joy. And hello, Joy, I know she's listening.
Yeah.
If you prohibit or if you see that you're not having joy, that you're not laughing, I'm saying it with my Kikuyu accent, laughing, laughter. Then something is very wrong in your life, and you need to find out why you cannot smile, why you cannot have joy, why you cannot laugh. And most oftentimes, we blame other people. Like as a parent, when I look forward for my children to give me happiness, then that's a no-no. I'm not doing justice to me, to my mind kitchen and cat kitchen. I'm not. I'll start getting depressed and stressed. And then I'll never be able to smile back to them. I will never appreciate their laughter. Or even other people, when I see them laughing and joyful, I'll be like, I'll be seeing them. I won't be seeing the joy or the why they are doing them. So I'll be like, the why is stuck in me. The reasoning, why is the reasoning? Yes. So joy and laughter, when you have them, you'll be able to combat the other areas. Stress, bye-bye. It'll be like at a distance. Because Esther, we are spiritual. And as I said, if you stop smiling and laughing, then you need to go to the mortuary and find a companion there.
Then you'll be dead in a way. That's what you mean.
They have no spirit. Yeah.
Okay.
They have no spirit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're telling us like part of what you're touching on the spices of life is the emotions part of it. So if you need to grow as a person, balance your emotions, and one of the emotions is the joy that comes out of happiness, isn't it? And then I wanted to ask another question in that regard. What is the place of significant others And who are these significant others? Like, I think you had mentioned about your son. I have a child. Like yesterday when I was
Mhm.
sharing, I have a husband and all
Yeah.
that. So it depends. Yeah. So who are those significant others that can be able to help us in maybe balancing those emotions and balancing our lives? Or can we just do it on our own, just like this?
It involves the whole community,
Mm-hmm.
and the community needs to have the awareness.
Yeah.
Most oftentimes, people who are going through stress,
Yeah.
uh, even those significant others might not even know
Mm-hmm.
what's wrong with this person.
Yeah.
They just see an angry person.
Mm-hmm.
They just see a person who is sleeping the whole day.
Yeah.
They just see a person who is not eating,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
And then instead of trying to discover,
Yeah.
they start now judging. Oh, you are lazy.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, there's just a big, huge ball of negativity that
Mm-hmm.
comes between you and the next significant others.
Okay. Okay. And who are those? Who are some of the examples of the significant others that we would like to be in the, I mean, we would like them to be in our lives?
The person who
Mm-hmm.
cares about you, or the person you love.
Mm-hmm.
It could be your friends.
Mm-hmm.
It
Good.
could be someone you can call whenever, who can call you or who you can call. But
Mm-hmm.
these days, even if we have so many technological tools
Mm-hmm.
that we can easily just call someone and even do a face to face, or if not,
Mm-hmm.
just talk. People are not doing that. And we are even more lonelier or lonesome than
Mm-hmm.
ever before. So those significant others are those people we can call friends,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
the community,
Mm-hmm.
or the workplace, according
So
to me.
that's right. So I want to take this
Yeah.
opportunity, Mary, to be really
Mhm.
thankful to you, Mary, because from the beginning, when I joined KDM last year, I'm celebrating 1 year on KDM, and we have
Mhm.
rejoined very well because you were number one to really welcome me and chat with me, and you always do chat behind the scenes and you make me feel very comfortable. So thank you so much, and
Yeah.
God bless you. You have become
Thank
my
you.
significant other in the Kenya diaspora media, because without people coming back, yani nahahetagwatia, behind the curtains, behind the scenes, and
Behind the
telling you,
scene.
Esther, well done, you're doing very well, or how are you doing when you've gone really quiet. So may I say thank you so much because of the many messages that you sent me, hata kuniamkua even, yeah, very recently. So thank you, and may God continue to, yeah, inspire you and give you that spirit of encouragement. It's a gift you have. I don't know whether you know. It's a
I
gift you
don't know.
have.
Thank
Yes,
you.
so keep doing that and may God continue to sustain you. Now, the other thing I
Welcome,
wanted to
Esther.
ask is to do
Mhm.
with self esteem. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, where is the place of self esteem in this person developing to become the person? And what causes low self esteem sometimes?
It's feeling judged and feeling unworthy.
Mm-hmm.
And and that happens, maybe something happened before that feeling
Mm-hmm.
or feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So it puts you in a state, let's say
Yeah.
like losing a job.
Mm-hmm.
It makes us, even if we are qualified, it makes us make us go back one step behind and
Mm-hmm.
start asking us ourselves questions. Does it mean I'm not qualified? Or, okay, what about the next job? It's a kind of fear state.
Mm-hmm.
It's fear that comes in the gap of reasoning
Yeah.
and affects our self-esteem.
So is it the only thing, or there are other aspects that can affect our self-esteem?
There are so many, but
Mm-hmm.
as I said,
Mm-hmm.
there is always a causative nature, a cause,
Yeah.
something that started the ball rolling.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you want to, unless I can, okay, I've just said about a job.
Yeah.
It can be a death,
Mm-hmm.
grief, loss of property, you have been auctioned, you have left children at home, back home, and you are in a new country, and you feel like you are not adequate, you know, you're looking for jobs, and all you're seeing is people who have been working here for so many years, and now you're a newbie, and then you're like, oh my gosh, will I be able to be like them? So
Comparison. Yeah, sometimes.
yeah, comparison and inadequacy. So yeah,
You did say very
it's
well.
also the mindset.
Yeah.
It's a mindset attitude.
Yeah. If I remember right at the very beginning, you said, don't be under pressure. Yeah, don't put yourself under pressure, and you don't have
Yeah.
to keep up with the Joneses. That's the way they say it in English. People try to keep up
Yes.
with the Joneses. Okay, in Kenya we'd say
Joneses.
keeping up with the Kamaus, or keeping up with the
Yeah.
Njoroges, and keeping up with so and
Yes.
so. So sometimes when we get ourselves in that competitive spirit, which we were taught in school to be number one or number two and all that. But I like the way you've been using this statement, number one. To me, you are meaning priority. Yeah, priority. The first thing that you should put at the
Yes.
center, or the priority of doing things, is this one. Do this particular thing so that you can be able to win with life. So I'm looking at a few points I have here because they're helping me to kind of
Okay.
help. Yeah. So the other thing is about body image. Yeah. So you and I tumekula chumvi kidogo. So how do you think that affects us when we are going into other people's spaces, or in life, or even we are in the US or we are in the UK? How, or what do you think is the place of the body image?
I think that's the most what can I say? Destructive thing that happens in any human being. We grow up thinking either we are very beautiful,
And
the
we
boys
are,
like me,
and we are.
the
Okay.
teacher likes me,
Yeah.
or I'm so ugly. That's why people don't like me. But they haven't even told you they don't like you.
You think again, we go to that mindset,
Mindset
the
attitude.
perception, the concept, the self-concept and all that.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah. It's just in the mind kitchen and the heart kitchen.
there we go. I like this.
Yes.
So personally growing up, I went through a season of bedwetting, right?
Me
And
too.
did
Who
you?
did it?
I think some people didn't. So, and I listened to a story. There was a time I listened to a story, and a certain girl was saying about the trauma of childhood. So, why you, for example, and if you don't mind me, I told you I do laugh at some things that are
Yeah.
not laughable, like this one. As long as we are laughing at
Yes.
ourselves, that's okay.
Yeah.
Do you think you are going through a trauma to bedwet? Do you think Esther was going through a trauma to bedwet? Or where did this thing come from?
It's okay. It did. It's traumas. Mine, personally, I was afraid of the giants. You know those stories, Marimo, Theodore or something.
Uh-huh.
So you could imagine trying to
Yeah.
go to the bathroom before you sleep, and the darkness is there, and the giant is hiding behind there. No way. So you sleep, and then in the morning, again, you are embarrassed, you are humiliated, because your bed is wet. And I was in boarding school.
Okay.
Back home, my mom used to have a small tin, mkebe. Akaniambia, girls don't go out to the toilet at night. And even my brother used that tin. So I was able to feel relaxed when I was at home. I never used to bedwet. But for the
Okay.
boarding school, I was among the group. We were even
I
in
shouldn't be
a
laughing. I shouldn't be laughing, but I think Even me, when I remember my own days, I do. Yeah, I can laugh now. Yeah. So.
So we used to be kept in a corner. The beds were put in a corner of the bed wetters. And so it was always stinking and it was so humiliated. So it affected my self-esteem. Even if I was a very intelligent student, at the back of my mind, I was still seeing the girls laughing at me.
And I'm still laughing. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at
No,
myself. At.
I'm not a bedwetter now.
So
They are not giants now.
now
We are the giants.
we are the giant. You've told a very good point, by the way. Like I told you, I normally use everyday situations to really learn. Now, somebody, my grandmother, I lived with my grandmother, and so my grandmother would say, would tell me these stories, very good stories, she and I read to my two girls went to the river to fetch water, and then the other girl, I don't know, told the other girl go a little bit deeper, but unfortunately when she was in the river, the pot, just kind of flowed away,
Yeah.
and she went after that, and she found herself with these giants or ogres and all that.
Yes.
And then you go to sleep, and of course you will bedwet, right? So the stories, the narratives that we tell our children, the narratives, they could be very innocent when they are telling them. But even now, the giants we face, the Goliaths that we face in life, it's out of the stories we hear, right? So sometimes somebody tells you when you go abroad, it's difficult. It is ABCD. It's ABCD. You're required to do, and it can be a giant to the extent that your self-esteem is so affected and you're not able to move forward. Yeah, it does happen. Now I'm gonna just move on that bedwetting a little bit. Yeah, with one of the things you'll be telling us with time, because you'll be talking about mental health at some stage in our topics, maybe in future. What technologies or what techniques did your mom and grandma try to use to stop you from bedwetting?
Like I have said, when I was back home on vacation, I never used to bedwet because there was nobody to laugh at me, and also my mom had given me that potty training, like amkebe, to use at night in case. And it's only my brothers who could do that because they were also afraid. And they used to tell each other, oh, the giant is coming. And so everybody was bedwetting. So what happened now is after we grew a little bit, we stopped telling each other those stories, or my parents stopped telling us the stories. And I think our three last borns never bedwet because now we were in this new world where the stories diminished.
Okay.
Stories stopped being told.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see the reality of the stories, the narratives of our lives, the stories that we are told, and how they can impact on the physical aspect of our bodies and also the spiritual aspect of our bodies? Now, my story is a bit grim because I was told if I go and lick a newly born calf, so I was told, and I, innocently I went and licked it because I thought it's gonna stop. But there is a therapy.
No.
I think there is a psychological therapy where even the Americans do it on telly. I don't know whether you've ever seen these programs where they ask people to put their hands where there are bugs and snakes or spiders, and sometimes you are exposed to the fear, the phobia that you have. The other day, Sally Jeremy was talking about fear and phobias and all that. So sometimes they expose you to that fear. So if you tell me you're scared of a small space, we lock you in a small space, right? If you tell me you're scared of a snake, we throw a snake at you. I don't know whether you've come across that type of therapy in your psychological
I just
world.
know of No, I've seen on the TV about people and the snakes and the maggots and everything so that they can win and finally get money.
Yeah. You know,
and
in
and
your
also
research,
I've,
yeah, have a look.
mhm.
While you'll be talking about mental health, just have a look at some of the methods they use to overcome
I
some
know
psychological
I know a
issues.
couple. Yeah, I know a couple, and walking on fire,
Oh, okay. Have you ever
on
done
hot
that?
taco.
Have you ever
No, I've
done?
never,
Uh-huh.
but it works.
That's it?
People never get burnt. People never get burnt. They walk. It's like a red carpet of fire. You walk on that red carpet, burning coal, charcoal, red, and you walk, and you won't be burnt. And
And you're
people are
not
clapping
running,
for you.
and you're not running like a kigurumuki or on the
No, no,
rocks,
no,
or
no.
and not
You're just
like a
taking.
frog.
No, you're just walking briskly, and people are clapping at you because everybody does the same.
Do you think it can work in our village fires, and we just light a charcoal
I
makaa fire and
I
then we walk
know
on the charcoals?
I know in Mombasa
Mm-hmm.
there is a group that goes there and does that. So I wish I knew about it, but I could have shared. But yeah, they do. It's
When
happening in Kenya.
I know the guy called Tony Roberts who talks about personal development as well in different and leadership
Yeah.
development. He talks about it,
Mm.
but I don't think it's something I would like to try. Not that I don't know, because I don't know how it
Okay.
works. Because I'm thinking, do they just jump very quickly, such that the
No, they
fire
just
don't?
walk like they just walk normal walk. Because if you run,
Yeah.
that you are now in fear, you get burnt.
Okay. Okay. Maybe that's something I'll try in future, but
You
I'm
have
not so sure.
let
I'm not
go,
so sure.
let
Yeah.
go.
So with the other method that I was telling you, because I came to discover much later while I'm grown up that it was
Mhm,
a therapy they had. I don't know where my social
mhm.
learned it from. At the because I'm so scared to lick the newborn calf, that means I'd stop. It will scare me enough to do it next time. I wouldn't be bedwetting. But it didn't stop me. I used to
Oh,
still
oh,
bedwet. Yeah, it
oh,
didn't stop me
wow.
because I wasn't connecting. I wasn't actually connecting the calf and how
They
filthy it is and the
they were
bedwetting. It didn't connect whatsoever. Yeah, it's much later that I
they,
learned
they
it's
were just
because of, yeah.
yeah, they were just trying to change you psychologically,
Mm-hmm.
but deep in you,
Mm-hmm.
you had fear. So
Yeah.
you are linking it with fear. So
Um,
fear was connecting with fear.
at that particular time, can I just say, Mary, I didn't know nothing. I just trusted my grandma. No, they were like,
Oh,
this is paracetamol. Just take it and it will alleviate the pain. I didn't connect the science behind it at all. It's today that I'm able to connect the science, the psychology behind it. But that particular time, I wasn't connecting what is this curve and what is this bedwetting. I didn't connect them. But I think as we mature and as we learn a bit of psychology here and a bit of learning here, then you can be able now to see the trauma, like now we've discovered, had come from the giants. I used to sit on bed, where I used to lie down, and then I would fall and hit my head on the headboard or on the door, and I'm dreaming that the giant has just bit my head or it has done something on my head. So it used to happen.
wow.
Yeah. So I'm connecting the stories I'm told every day with whatever else is happening in my life. Yeah. I'm connecting. Yeah. I'm connecting those stories
Yeah,
with everything that is happening around me. Yeah. Okay. So, we have had a very good start, Mary. We have had a
it's
very
a
good start.
it's a reawakening
Yeah,
to the way I like the way you have connected that what we are facing today
yeah.
is reawakening the giants of the past inside
Sometimes,
us.
yeah. Or the past
So
can affect what is happening to our lives, yes.
and I still don't figure out why people keep on telling people forget the past. You are in the past. Yeah, the past. No, the past is somewhere invisible. It just appears
Yeah.
and attacks you. And so you attack other people. And that's why they say hurt people hurt others.
That's right, yeah. So we cannot live away from our past because our past has made us, and that's why we study history. Today, we wouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
believing in Jesus if we didn't look into the past. Okay, we look into the past, but don't live in the past. For example, the things that bring us down, we don't go back there and
Yeah.
start rethinking them, and then they traumatize us. However, we can
Yeah.
learn from them. Like now, I've learned ngano cia marimo, the
Mm-hmm.
kitchen cleaning. What
Mm-hmm.
else did we learn about? Yeah. So the therapies that our grandmothers used to use. There is another therapy
Yeah.
my grandmother used to use. I don't know whether your mom or your grandma used that one. Okay, roate,
What's
waikarira
that?
kahiga kari kore. Nona mahiga maya
Uh,
matatu. These three stones,
mm-hmm.
yeah. If you sit
Mm.
on them,
Mm.
you'll be as thin as a stick.
Okay. No.
Did they ever tell you? Do you
Are
know
you
why they were
are you
telling
being
us that?
are you being
Yeah?
are you being now?
No, I couldn't. They were telling us because those days we wanted to be a bit chubby, right? You know, the chubbier you are, the cute you are.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you sit on that
Mm-hmm.
stone, of course, you're a child. You could fall into the ashes, you know, the hot ashes, the
Oh
embers. Yeah, so
no.
that's why they were
Oh.
telling us. Yeah. Magakwira atiriri, ndũngĩikara thĩ
Mm.
ũhutatĩire riko. Yeah, you can't sit with your back to the fireplace. It's the
Fire.
same thing because you
Mm-hmm.
could fall backwards and something would happen
Yeah.
to you. And then
Yeah.
they tell you that if you sit with your legs stretched out and other kids are
Yeah.
jumping over you, again you will
Yeah.
be as short as I don't know who. It's the same thing. An umbrella, opening an umbrella in the house. Here in the UK, they talk about it that
Eh,
you cannot keep an
eh.
umbrella open in the house. Why? It's because as you're opening the umbrella, it can poke people's eyes. So there are many ways
Oh.
we can learn these
Oh.
psychologies of every day. Yes. So they
Mm-hmm.
come up with something and
Okay.
it can be made superstition. It can be made to be superstitious, but in reality, if you study deeper, you will find that it's just the everyday psychology. Everyday psychology. Now,
The
nitwaruta wira
past,
mwega. Yeah,
the past and the present beliefs.
that's right. That's right.
Yes.
So I
Mm.
think we have done a very good start. Yeah, and as you hear
Yes.
me go
Yes.
that way, it's because we've almost done an hour, and I need to be going
Ooh.
somewhere shortly. So what we're
Good.
gonna do?
Thank
Let
you.
this be a start, and we can commit ourselves either on a Monday or
Yes.
one of the evenings when we can be able to sit down with you and be able to come up with what we will be talking about to our
Right.
visitors, to our guests, and all that. And
Yeah.
before we go, what are your final remarks while I look at those people who have visited us in the room?
My final remarks will be we can be able to change our beliefs
Mm-hmm.
according to the generation we are living in
Mm-hmm.
because generations keep changing themselves.
Yeah.
Right now, we
Mm-hmm.
have a generation that believes in spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
in them being the who they are,
Yeah.
and looking at us
Mm-hmm.
that we are living in the past with
Yeah.
our past belief,
Mm-hmm.
that, that they don't need to be contaminated
Mm-hmm.
by the past.
Okay.
So it's good to understand that
Mm-hmm.
and keep changing and allowing others the space
Okay.
in their kitchen mind
Mm-hmm.
and their kitchen hearts.
Okay.
Yeah, and keep in touch with people, significant others,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's not on phone,
Mm-hmm.
write them a note,
Yeah.
click a like or a heart.
Mm-hmm.
Technology is offering us so many things to connect to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And people are more lonesome than before.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, we don't know why, because we are kind of like isolating ourselves
Mm-hmm.
by what you just said, like competition or something. So you feel you're not adequate.
Mm-hmm.
So you tend to, like, because we can see each other and also very far, we think we are not enough. So self-esteem is making us not to connect with others as much as needed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's heal the world community one at a time. Yeah.
So you will be my doctor in a way.
And you
We can become doctors in our own capacity, because what today we have unearthed a little bit of Toralia Taridero, but in reality, the stories, the narratives we tell people or we tell each other can make us or break us. And I know one of the things you would really, really love to do is to review some of the stories we hear, on YouTube, on in life, some of the stories we hear from our friends. Yeah, they're
Right.
sinking deeper and deeper, because the stories people are loving to hear, they're those stories, those narratives. Okay, it's the reality of their lives maybe, but some of them
Yes.
become like ngano to other people, and they become the
Yes.
giants, and I mean giants of our lives, because when you hear, oh, men are horrible, or women are horrible, children are
Yeah.
horrible, so it becomes like something that we don't want to face. Yeah, it becomes a problem that we don't want to face. So if you can help me, and also our listeners who have been listening to us, which I just
Yeah.
want to compliment them, and I mean tell them thank you so much. Wacha niwaangalie kidogo hivi. Yeah, tumana
Yes.
Shirowa Mami, we had Shirowa Mami, we had Jane, we had Gladys Minor, we had Vivinelli saying hey, and then we had Ben Mkenya official, we had also Sarah Happy Hoopy, and also we had Bansi on this other side, and we had our DOO, that is Josie, she was here with us. So, and many others who have been silently listening, the ones I've been telling you, they are flowers, because they are there, and sometimes they blossom and they come up with the stories
Yeah.
that we want to hear. Like, I know sometimes when you are not there, you are still listening to us. So I don't really take them for granted. There are so many listening to us. So karibuni sana, and join us with on either Mondays or Tuesday. We'll decide what days we will be doing this
Right.
program. Okay, Mary.
Yeah.
And then we'll be able to be doctors in our own right. Today we had Dr.
Yes.
Juguna, but okay, we normally have Dr. Juguna, but he wasn't there today. Otherwise, sinimefurahi sana. If I wasn't going for my Bible study evening, I would have stayed a little bit longer. But because I'm being called on the side, then I'm going to be moving, and hopefully you have enjoyed. So I don't know, how did you find it? Just one feedback before I close the studio.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, just one feedback for you.
Oh,
How did
I'm
how did you
thrilled.
find this experience?
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled because I'm able to share my views, my opinions to you and the others,
Yeah.
and hopefully someone will start thinking of the changes they need to work on that is affecting them, the mindset, the attitudes, the attitudes they're having. And it's okay to be angry. Whatever you're going through, it's okay to feel that feeling.
Yeah.
But that's temporary. There's something new to come.
Yeah.
And when you are hurt or feeling pain, that's a good thing, because it helps you to jump over to the better side. Yes.
Brilliant. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Mary. I'm delighted to have you,
Thank you.
and hopefully we'll be having you again and again and again. And that mental attitude, Morore Shoshoa KDM, Shoshoa Jeremy Damaris, she has beat her her challenges. She was driving a four-wheel drive. So if you haven't watched that program, please go and have a look. She doesn't have a speech, because she's speech impaired and hearing impaired, yet the communication, the way we were communicating with Jeremy, she was able to drive, whether she was driving, but naked, and she sat on that steering wheel and the car moved from one point to the other. I was so impressed by that story. So thank you so much for bringing this story of the mindset and the attitudes, and that's where we'll continue next time. So
Yeah, and thank you for the viewers.
yeah, thank you so much,
I
everyone who has
appreciate it.
joined us. Tumeshukuru sana. It's been a wonderful time. This was Spices of Life with Mary Mwaura, and this is Esther from Leicester, and Mary is Mary from Minnesota, or Mary from near the Mississippi River. There we go. Okay, Mary wa Mississippi. Maybe we'll give you a name, you never know. So thank you so much, Mary, for joining us on Spices of Life, the kitchen chaos and the orders that will be bringing this kitchen here and this kitchen here, because that's where life begins. and we can be able to
Yes.
take it as a parallel, if we can be able to clean the
Yes.
mess in the kitchen, then the day can be smooth. We can be able to prepare very good food, and that's what Mary will be preparing for us. Irio njega muno
Right.
cia harĩa kariko, na mauma kariko mũgathiĩ mũgũnda mũkarĩma biũ mũkahanda mbegũ na cikagethwo. Yes.
Yes.
So we'll be doing
Mm-hmm.
the homestead kind of a life and just bringing it into the reality of the spiritual, the psychological, and God willing, the emotional, and then the language of love. Okay. Otherwise,
Yes.
God bless you.
Yes.
Ndĩraigua ta ingĩthiĩ, but I need to go.
Nũgwĩ nĩ ũndũ kipindi gĩgũkorwo kĩ mwaki mũndũ ũrenda kũhona kujeni. Yes.
Nimekuhona. Kujeni.
Ndagĩtarĩ
Endelea
cia
kupromote. Yes,
spiritual
endelea.
doctors.
Yeah, the doctors of every day. Karibu sana.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
thank you
Now,
so much.
karibuni. And asante, Esther. Thank you
Karibu sana.
so much.
Thank you for your encouraging. So
Have a wonderful evening wherever you're going.
And have a good afternoon wherever you are, and good night to the Kenyans, and good day to the rest of the world wherever they are. Thank you so much. And I'm going to stop now. Till next time. Thank you so much.